So we are the Connections Over Coffee this morning. So does everybody have your coffee? Yeah. Other than Carmela. Oh, she does. Yay.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Elisa's working on it. Okay, I get it. So welcome everyone. And I have another attendee coming in. And so hi, Rachel. We're going to bring you up on stage. So welcome, Rachel. Come on up and we get to see you. And let me find you here, Rachel. I'm going to actually allow you to show your video as well. And so I was just explaining to Lynn and Laura before everybody else jumped on. We've had some Zoom hackers. We actually on our Build a Better Business mastermind earlier this week, we even had a little lesson about that. And one of the lessons is if you're on Zoom, you can create webinars instead of meetings. Those are the two options. And with the webinar, the host has a lot more control. As you can see, I have to let each person in individually. And good morning, Debbie. We see you're there. We're going to bring you up on stage. And Debbie Marks is joining us. And once she gets in, we'll let her show her video as well. And so, Debbie, we're going to let you show your video so that we can see all our lovely faces. There are 7 of us on. Anyway, what I do is I make my screen a little smaller. I minimize the actual screen where I see all our faces. And there's Rachel. And what I do then is I open up the participant bar and the chat bar. And so if you're running a Zoom meeting yourself, you can actually put your participants and chat open off to one side and you can watch it if you're like wearing all the hats. On these great big webinars, usually there's a person behind the scenes that's handling that part, that's letting people in and out. They're they're bringing them up on stage. They're allowing them to show their videos or not. So anyway, it does give me more control. So if we happen to have a Zoom hacker, I have the option to actually turn off their video and their microphone on my end a lot easier. And so that's why they recommend that you do a webinar instead of a meetup. So on all my free stuff, I've gone to the webinar for that reason, because it's the free stuff is where those hackers have been trying to just, get a rise out of everybody. Usually it's nothing major. They just come in and say inappropriate things and show inappropriate videos and just for the shock value. And because they're bored, I guess. They don't have anything else to do. So anyway, welcome Lynn, welcome Laura, Carmela, Rachel, Debbie, Elise, and Sasha. Welcome so much. I'm glad you're here. Sasha's back, but her video still won't come on. I'm just kind of doing some troubleshooting on my end. I'm trying to see. You're marked in the same as everyone else, Sasha, so I'm not sure. Try that, see if that brings you on now. Maybe your name went away, but it's still a black screen. So it's something on your end because it's letting your video come on, but it's showing a black screen. So I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm on a different laptop than I normally use, so that could be it.
Okay.
I'll have to play with it at some point.
Okay. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. So there is 8 of us on this morning. So welcome everyone. I am physically in Canal Winchester, Ohio. So I don't know where everybody else is located, but I'm in Canal Winchester, right outside of Columbus. I'm just on the southeast corner. My name is Kathy Benner. I am a passive income coach, and I also am a health and wealth educator. I have an academy called the Kathy Benner International Academy. And I run about 8 different lanes a month, everything from long-term real estate, short-term real estate, mid-term real estate. Then I segue over to writing, and I have a lane where we write from anywhere in the world. We monetize blogs. We learn how to do podcasting. I also have a group where we're learning how to do 5-session challenges or masterminds, that sort of thing. If you want to put together a funnel and do a challenge, I teach folks how to do that. And then last but not least, is we have nonprofits. And so I have a nonprofit where I actually give away scholarships. So that's a little bit about me. And I just had a big aha moment last night. One of my my wins for this week, and I know Elise was posting her wins on Facebook earlier, but one of my wins this week, and I told the story in Clubhouse this morning, is I have a girlfriend who is a compulsive shopper. And when I actually go to visit her, she loves to go shopping, and she walks out, with like 20 bags under her arms. And so we always try to guess, how much is she going to spend this trip, because she's just a compulsive shopper. I am not a compulsive shopper, but sometimes it seems like I'm a compulsive shopper because I'll see something that maybe I've decided early on, like, well, if I ever see that, I'm going to get it. Have you ever done that? You intuitively, there's something you kind of want, and you're thinking, if I happen to walk in a store and that perfect thing is right there, I'm getting it, because it's been on my mind for a while. And so it appears that I'm a compulsive shopper, but I'm not. It's always premeditated of something that I've been kind of looking for and kind of wondering if it's going to fit the bill. Well, I do the same thing in my business. Is I sit with an intuitive thought on, wouldn't it be wonderful if I did this, or if I could do that? And don't you know, a lot of times the universe will just dump that right in my lap. And for those of us that are faith-based, we can say that, God brought it right to us. And so at that point, even though I'm not compulsive, I might jump on board of an opportunity because it's something that intuitively I've known that I want to do, or something I want to get, or someplace I want to go. And it just kind of appears. And so my aha moment this week is, don't miss it. Don't miss it when that happens. If you're intuitive and your heart is telling you, I need to do this next step, or gee, I really ought to look at doing, like, writing a book, or creating a funnel, or launching your own business, or visiting a sick friend, or whatever it is. Or maybe I should put in a garden this year, whatever it is that intuitively keeps niggling at you, so to speak. Don't miss that. So I guess that's my aha this week. Yesterday, and Kyle, again, he had to jump off because he's getting dumped off of the Wi-Fi at the car place where he's getting his car fixed. But Kyle called me up, and he is my co-mod in some of my real estate lanes of my academy. And he called me up and he said, I want you to meet my broker. Well, I know who his broker is, and I kind of follow them on Facebook, but I had never met them personally. It's the broker, husband and wife team. And he said, let's go to dinner, and I want you to meet them. So he kind of set it all up, and we went to Easton, which is a really great area here in Columbus. And we had dinner together, and they really had researched me and all of my products and what I offer. And they have offered me an opportunity to actually do some training for their organization. And so that was just a huge shock to me, because I'm like, Debbie and I are in another 5-week challenge this week. And I keep thinking, where do I want to take, I wanted to sit with it for a minute. Where do I want to take my business next? And because I'm a passive income coach, I'll be blunt, I don't want to work that hard. I don't want to have all of these speaking things where I have to get dressed and travel and stand around for 3 hours for it's my turn to speak. And, I don't want to work that hard, because I'm semi-retired, and I want passive income. And so they're like, well, you can actually, the offer was, you can actually create these as an online course. Well, that's of course what I do, is write online courses. And they said, and then you can offer it to our organization. But then you could also offer it to, because it's a real estate organization, you can then offer it to all other realtors at large as CE training. And so it's kind of like a captive audience. All of these realtors have to get their CEs every year somewhere. So I might as well, be front and center and say, I've got the CEs right here. So anyhow, I'll see how that plays out. But again, I've been thinking, what I really want to do is just write more courses and just have more passive income, instead of working really hard and having to travel and dress and show and prepare speeches and and all of that. I thought I love the behind the scenes. I'm a little bit of an introvert, so I love working behind the scenes. I love the writing piece of it, which is why I've got all those writing lanes in my academy. And so this is just right up my alley. And so again, the universe just kind of put that in my lap. And so don't miss it. So that's the moral of my story this morning, is don't miss it when something like that comes along. So let's go around. And again, this is Connections Over Coffee, and we're just getting to know each other and build relationships. And so, Lynn, I'm going to start with you. Tell us where you are physically located and maybe what an aha was for you this week. Lynn?
Ooh, an aha this week. I'm actually listening to what you're saying and kind of thinking off that is be creative with those things. As much as that came to you as an offer that you thought right out of the gate you didn't want to do, you actually made it into something that worked for you. You were creative with the thought, and the communication brought another way of doing what was offered to you that at first you didn't think would work. So that would be my thought right out of the gate, but about what I'm hearing. So anyways, I'm in Canada. I'm just coming out of a 30-year marriage, and a lot of energy is coming, renewing energy, personal energy. And I'm trying to find something to do with the rest of my life. And so the passive income appealed to me. So I'm here to really take in some ideas. I can't say I have them myself. So I'm here actually to hear what everybody else has to say and maybe inspire me into something. I'm looking for that. So I'm in a good state of mind. I'm all good. I just need something to do and purpose for the rest of my life. So that's why I'm here.
I get it, Lynn. When of course, I've been in sales all my life. And then in my 40s, my big aha moment was that my nail tech made more money than I did. And my 19-year-old uncollege educated nail tech made a lot more money than I did. And so I said, you know what, I need to rethink where my decisions are taking me. And so, and Debbie knows my story. I went back to cosmetology school at age 40, and I came out of cosmetology school and decided to become a nail tech. That was the short program. That was the cheapest, shortest one, which is why I did the nail tech program. Plus it was the nail tech that was making more money than me. And so I started doing nails, decided I was going to be the best in the area. Now, of course, I got on that train when it was just starting down that track, and I rode it all along, because that's right when nails, those acrylic nails, were becoming so popular, and every 14-year-old had acrylic nails on. And so business was good, and true to form, my income shot up there. But my aha moment then was I needed to build a retirement. And so the plan was I was just going to try to save part of my income for retirement. But my huge aha was when I realized that, and again, this is how things happen. Don't miss it. And so anyway, I realized that the owner that I was an independent contractor for was collecting all of our, it was called booth rent. It's a booth rent salon. She was collecting all of our booth rent, and she was paying her rent on this big storefront in a shopping center. And I thought to myself, what if I bought my own building and had booth renters, and I collected the rent and actually paid the mortgage instead of rent? Then in 20 years, I would have a paid for building. Well, guess what? It's now been 25 years, and I actually retired with 5 paid for buildings. It worked so well that I did it 5 times. And that is now my retirement as passive income. So don't miss it. Sometimes it's something very subtle, Lynn, that comes down, And so just recently, and again, I keep referring to Debbie because Debbie and I go way, way back. We both want to author a book. And of course, for those of you that are authors, kudos to you, because I know it's a big, big project. And I thought, and again, I'll admit, I'm not sure I want to work that hard, because you got to write the book, and you got to figure out the ISBN number and the cover, and the, who's going to write the forward, and how, then the marketing and all of that. Well, a co-author and I kept thinking I need to write a book. It was just really, again, niggling at me. And finally, this co-author project came by, and as it went by, like that train on the track, I said, you know what, I'm getting on. So sometimes, Lynn, it's just something that's going by, but if it's something that's already been, kind of coming to fruition in your mind, because I think we have to create it in our mind first. We have to see it in our mind's eye before we can actually launch it out into the world. And so as I kept thinking I needed to write, all of a sudden here's this co-author book project. So now there's 20 authors. I only had to write one chapter instead of all 20. And the editor, everything is included. The editing's included, the cover's included, the ISBN number's included, the marketing's included, everything is included. And so I said, you know what, I'm getting on that train, because that will get me published. And then if I want to go from there, once I learn the ropes, I can, but that will get me published. And so I did that. And so now my book launches September 6th. So how exciting is that? So anyway, don't miss it. That's the other point. So sometimes, Lynn, it's just a train going by.
My ears.
Yes. So keep your eyes and ears open. You never know what is going to be a trajectory in your life to the next level. And it doesn't have to be a business. It can be a ministry. It can just be your life's purpose. It can be what your passion is. It can be starting an animal rescue, or Debbie does Going Green with Debbie Marks, and she is all about farming and canning and being organic. And boy, don't we need that these days. So, it can be whatever your passion is. So Lynn, good luck with that, and just keep your eyes and ears open. Yeah. Laura, how about you?
Hi, I'm Laura, and I live in Western New York State, far from New York City. The other side, I'm an hour and a half from Niagara Falls. However, I'm actually Texan. So once I start talking, I'll start talking like this. That's why. I have a home. I raised, my husband and I have been married 44 years now, and we have 6 kids, only one still home, who has a special needs. She will be with us probably forever, and which is fine. But I also do real estate investing. That's I don't work I don't work anywhere. I mean, I do work, but you know what I mean. No 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. And I have property up here in New York, which my husband, I got myself, because he's a professor at University of Buffalo, and we have different mindsets on money. And so I did my thing and on my own. And so now he's on the properties up here in New York. However, I have properties just in my name, and I have a LLC in Texas. One of our single children lives there, or it's just a 4-bedroom, but she rents out to students in the local college. Rents out the rooms. Not she does, I do. She manages the place. So that works out really well. And there's other properties, but those are my 2 main ones. So I always have a place to go down in Texas, where 3 of our kids are. Anyway, I'm an author. There's my book right there called, and the title, it's kind of funny, is Unipreneur: How to Live Your Passion in a House Full of Dream Killers.
I remember when you published that, Laura, and I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to get her book, and I have it. So just so you know, I run a bed and breakfast out of my home. I rent rooms as well.
Okay.
And behind my Victorian couch in my 1920s bed and breakfast called the Caraway Guest House is the collection of all of my favorite authors, and your book is there.
Oh, well, I feel honored. Thank you. But my story is in there briefly. And then I give how I got through that point. Because like I said, my husband and I have been married 44 years, but there was a time about 10 years ago where I just about had it, I had it. That's why I built that house down in Texas. But we worked things out, and I figured out how to, I won't say he's a dream builder now, but he doesn't fight me on it anymore, and so it's going through that process. That's what that book is about how, if you want both, you can have both. It doesn't have to be an either or. So anyway, but now I do coaching, and before COVID, I had my in-person speaking business was starting to boom, and then COVID hit and things got canceled. And I just haven't picked up. I've done a few. I do podcasts no, I'm not a podcaster, but I get interviewed on podcasts and that type of thing, which I really enjoy. However, I'm at a pivot point right now. I have some things going on where I want to combine my author, speaker, coach thing with virtual events. And so I'm actually partnering with at least one of my kids who are real techie, to do that end of it, because I'm not a techie person. And that's actually my biggest challenge is tech stuff.
I get
so
it.
anyway, yeah. So anyway, that's where I am now. Things are pulling together for the next step, and I'm excited about it. I'm an emotional buyer rather than a logical buyer, so it's really good that I'm partnering with this one daughter of ours that is a very logical person. We make a really great team, and she has big visions as well, and so I think it will work really well. And she'll do the tech part of the events, the virtual events, and we can do it from different states, and it's all good. So I think I said probably too much, but there we go.
No, I love it. I love it. And Laura, please, Debbie wants your information as well. Please put your information in the chat. And so I'm going to give Laura a little boost. I am the facilitator of the Ohio Writers Guild. And Laura, I would love your email to send you an invite to be on our podcast. And you can talk all about your book, and then you can finish off with what you're currently doing and give yourself a little plug there to all of our viewers. Our podcast just got picked up again. Don't miss it when the universe brings you good news. Our podcast just got picked up by Amazon. And so we are now on Amazon Music for the first time. And so I'm excited about that. So that was news. So Laura, thank you so much for sharing. That's wonderful. And her information is there in the chat. Now, I will tell you a little bit about, again, before we move on, I have the Kathy Benner International Academy. If you just go to kathybenner.com, you see my name there in my little square. I feel like this is, remember back in the day, Hollywood Squares? I'm dating myself. That's what this always reminds me of when we're on a Zoom call. Anyway, my name is there, Kathy Benner. If you go to kathybenner.com and click through on this particular event, which is the Connections Over Coffee free event, just scroll down my homepage till you come to that and click through. You will find all of our replays there, but there's also a section in that where we put everybody's connections if you want to connect outside of this call. So if you want to be listed there, just put your information in the chat. And then that way you can go back and listen to the replay. You can go back if you want to connect with someone later, because this particular event is all about relationships. It's building relationships that we can help promote each other. And again, it doesn't have to be a business. It can be a ministry. It can just be a passion you have. And so however we can help promote each other. And so please share your contact information if you're interested. Let's move on to Carmela. Carmela, tell us a little bit about you and where you're coming from. And I know you're on the road.
Well, I normally come to you from Lima, Ohio. I'm Carmela Banks. I'm en route to Marion, which is about an hour north of myself, because today is my mother's 76th birthday, and she suffers from early dementia, but I'm a caregiver for her, so I'm back and forth between my dad, taking care of her. So I'm meeting my daughter there. My daughter's already there because apparently she has free time. I wear so many hats. I work part-time for my husband. I say it's part-time, but he makes it full-time sometimes. And he's an attorney, so usually I work for him 3 days a week. 2 days is for myself to devote. I am also a real estate investor. I have a business partner, and we recently just got into that. That's been a passion. I also am a wellness advocate for doTERRA essential oils. So I'm more into the all natural approach as opposed to doing other things. I don't like to take a lot of pills, so I try to do things more naturally. Yeah, it's kind of weird when I'm trying. One of my passions is to probably start blogging, and I think Kathy gave me that kind of plug probably a couple months ago. And she's like, you need to start doing that, because there's a lot of things that I may post on social media. And it's like, I should put this in a blog. And a lot of times I get so many people that will reach out to me, and it's like something that I wrote or said has helped them, inspired them. And a lot of times it's just what's on my heart or my mind, and I just share it. And that's just the type of person that I am. I also am like a mentor to young women, more or less, because they're like over 20. And a lot of times I'm that person that they can come to, talk to, and we just kind of like, I try to mentor them and just encourage them, just with life. Because, you have your bumps in the road, but majority of the time, if they need someone to talk to and they can't go to, say, a family, I'm there, not judging them or anything. And sometimes, I'll just listen. I'm that ear they can bend, or I'll even just pray with them or whatever the thing may be. But I enjoy doing that. I have not come to the point where I'm at the point to write a book yet. My husband has, and we need to get him published. So me, I'm just on the sidelines where I help everyone else. I'm thinking I may need to get back into event planning. I used to do it as a side gig, but it seems like more recently I've done 2 events in the last 3-4 weeks, and they just pop up, and I'm one of these ones. I work really well under pressure. Do I like it? Not so much, but I do well. And then I have a lady wanting me to do something else, so I've like done a bunch of things for her, and I'm like, okay, I am not your coordinator. I'm just helping you. She tells a couple of girlfriends of mine, Carmela's my coordinator. I'm like, no, I am not. I will pay you good. And I'm like, and right now I said, I just don't have the time this month because with mom having a lot of appointments and trying to get her situated and just life. But I'm trying to actually just settle and, and do things for me. And that's care, because sometimes I find it hard to do. So I'm learning how to put myself first, learning how to say no, because I have always been a yes lady. So if someone wants me to do something, I'm always there. Church, no matter what. And I think it was one of our ladies at church said, I always ask you because we know you'll say yes and you do it. That was the light bulb. So now I kind of balance things out where I'm not burnout, because my nickname for my husband is everybody's beck and call girl. Not like a call girl, but they call me and I'm right there, to do whatever. But I'm going to start, doing probably settling up, doing a blog and things. I do crafting on the side. I'm getting back into it, and it's something that's very relaxing and it helps, me not be stressful, because I tend to stress over my mother and different things like that, because she is my best friend, and this is like the roughest part of my life. And I've gone through it twice with both my mother and father-in-law, and I was a caregiver for them. But it's a totally different situation when it's your own mom. Mm-hmm. And I love my brothers, but they're guys, and guys just tend to not jump in there. So hopefully they remember today's her birthday, because I didn't send out a mass text today, and I didn't even do a Facebook post yet. So we'll see. But as you can tell, I'm driving, I'm en route. I probably should be there probably the next 30-40 minutes. But that's about me.
Carmela, thank you so much. Carmela and I are connected through family also. So Carmela is my co-mod, my co-facilitator for this particular group. But yes, she does wear a lot of hats, and kudos to you, and tell your mom happy birthday from us, and safe driving out there, Carmela.
Oh, yes.
Rachel, we see you were driving, and now it looks like you've arrived wherever it was you were heading. And Rachel, would you like to share? I don't know if she's available. She's got her microphone off. Sasha, we see that your camera is on now. Good. Yes, we see your lovely face. Share, please. Oh, Rachel's signing back in. It looks like Rachel got frozen. She's signing back in.
Okay. Yeah, actually, it was just really flipping a little switch on.
Okay. Okay. Well, good. Good.
Yeah, I don't know. I figured it out, but hi, I'm Sasha Moore. I am actually in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
I'm originally from Ohio, so just relocated within the month to Nashville.
Oh, so it's just a recent move for you. Okay. Where were you in Ohio?
I was in Canal, Winchester.
Oh, that's where I am.
Yeah. So,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, so and it's been a while since I've sat in on connections over coffee. I have before, but it's been several months just because it's been kind of chaotic with preparing to move and like just life, basically.
Yes. Well, we're glad you're here today.
Thank you. And like Carmela, I also have been a yes person, and so finally focusing on me and the things that I want to do. It is difficult. I'm a mother of two young adult daughters, to early 20s, but it's hard to like step away, and like it's hard to like pull back. And I do have a day job. I work as an executive assistant, so in that field. And I saw, Elise, you work as a virtual assistant. So like, as when you're in a support role, you kind of are that, like, you do everything. So, you take on everything. And I've, worked in this field for a long, long time. So setting boundaries, yes, definitely trying to start doing that. And my mom actually did move with me, so we're together. My girls are still in Ohio and working and thriving and living their lives, but I do kind of help take care of my mom as well, and do things for her. I mean, for the most part, she's self-sufficient, but like there are things that she can't do. So, and I'm an only child, so it's, she is my best friend, and it's the whole, yeah, I get it, Carmela. But I am a published author, so I have a business. Outside of that, I have 10 books published, 13
Wow.
written. So my first book was published in 2015, and so I've just been kind of publishing throughout the years.
Now, are you
and-
self-published or have you gone
Yes.
through a publisher? Self-published?
No,
Okay.
I thought about that like early on, if I wanted to like go through that whole process of the publishing house and like, the agents and all of that. And I decided that like I want to make sure that my creativity is not being I don't know, like limited, so I want my brand to look the way it looks. I want to be able to go to the things that, events that I want to go to. I want to be able to, just be me and not have to conform to what somebody else wants me to be. So that's why I chose to go through the self-publishing route, and just really make sure I am presenting who I want and what I want. So I choose the events that I go to. Like I do quite a few like events where, like I'll be able to have a table. I've done like interviews, just many things over the last couple of years. Actually, it's picked up quite a bit. Even with COVID, it's been very odd, but it's picked up like since 2020 through now. So I've done quite a bit and have 2 events back in Ohio coming up, so I have to travel back. But I don't know. I mean, that's what I do. I also bake. So usually like if I have my books out, I'll have some sort of bake stuff too, so people can see that side of myself.
How fun is that? I love that.
Yeah.
What genre do you write in, or is it more than one?
No, I write romance.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very, very diverse, very, my character is very real. So they have real jobs, they have real problems, you know, nobody's perfect. It's all like everybody has flaws. They have things that they have to work through internally, externally. You know, I want to make them as relatable as possible and the stories relatable to people as they're reading them so that they can say, oh, you know, I went through that. Like, you know, I get this character and what they're going through. Like, so I try to keep them real. But you know, as far as opportunities, you know, again, like you were saying, Kathy, like when opportunities are presenting themselves, just jumping on them, regardless. Like, you know, a lot of times you may not know where it's going to lead, but for me, it's just like if I see something, I just, you know, I'm like, okay, I want to do that, because you never know, when you do something, you might move to the next step, or, you know, you never know what happens. Like if I see a penny on the ground, like, oh, I see the penny. That's one penny I didn't have before. It's a blessing to me, you know? So even if they're small things, you know, I look at things as like a blessing and a stepping stone to that next level. So, I mean, I don't know what else you wanted.
Tasha, I love it. I love it. Laura shared that, yeah, she I want to say pulled her book back from publisher editor because she didn't like the changes. She didn't like where it was going. So we get that you're self-published. And I think you might have 2 more opportunities just this morning. I made a note to get in touch with you about our Ohio Writers Guild, and Debbie has a podcast called Fireside Chat with Debbie Marks. I'm going to let her tell you about that. And she put over in the chat that she would like to interview you. So see, that's how things work. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love
Well,
it.
thank you. Yes, no, I would love, you know, both of those opportunities, even though I'm in Tennessee, like
Oh,
I
it
travel
doesn't
back,
matter. Yep.
I travel back all the time, you know, things are virtual now
Mhm.
with a lot. So no, I would love to, you know, interact and be a part of both of those. And
Yeah,
it's a pleasure to
wonderful.
meet you all. So
Yes, and thank you for being with us today. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Debbie, tell us about you.
Good morning, ladies. It's fun to be here with you all. Some of you know me, Debbie Marks. I live here just south of Buckeye Lake, which is about 20 minutes from Kathy. So, well, I'm a coach. I'm an author, almost, and a speaker. This 5-day challenge that Kathy and I have been going through this week has been quite an eye-opening event for me. It kind of put things into perspective for me. And but I like to, I'm writing my blogs on our organic farming. It's been a little slow this season, so I will have tomatoes come September, not August like originally. But I enjoy being green, so I'm also a marketing executive through Melaleuca. This is where it's a green company. You know, I'm sure some of you have heard of it. And the thing is that, you know, this may be even during the pandemic, and now with inflation, people are flocking to us every day, every month. Our membership grows because of the fact that everybody wants what we have. They're tired of the high prices in the grocery stores, and they're tired of the chemicals. My gosh, everything has chemicals in it.
And the empty shelves too, Debbie, the empty shelves. I went to the store and a lot of the shelves are empty.
Empty is so true. And the big thing, we have over 400 products, but what we've established is that all of our products are America made. Nothing comes to us from Europe like other companies do, except one product. and that's our mascara from Italy, but it's still green. It's no chemicals in it. So last night on our challenge, things really became were put in perspective for me, and I have to work with my return on my investment. That's key. And if I want to advance my business, I have to do that. And excuse me. For some reason, my frogginess has come back with a vengeance. But Wendy and Brendan are fabulous. If you find them on Facebook, they are a wealth of information. And I want to give kudos to everyone that has shown up this morning and is participating here. And it sounds like we're all being very vulnerable and open to all of us. And yes, so many of you I would like to have on my fireside chat with Debbie Marks on Meetup. And the other thing, I had a thought, and I know. I am going to put together a book club, and I'm going to do it as a Zoom, and I have to put the fine tunes to it, but there are so many self-help books out there. Like Kathy does the one on Friday from John Maxwell, and but you get the book and you get through the first chapter, and unless it bites you right away, you don't finish it. And the next thing you know, you got a pile of, books a mile high. So I'm going to work on that for going forward. And thanks, ladies. Just thank you for letting me share that this morning. And I did put my information in already.
Debbie, thank you so much for that. Debbie alluded that we are in a 5-day challenge over with another group. It's a group, again, in my Build a Better Business. I teach you whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's a business or a ministry or just a mission in life. You can actually serve other folks that are already in your lane and just serve them, just help them elevate what they're doing. And they in turn will mention you to their tribe. And so what that means is you get to borrow their audience, because all of a sudden their audience knows who you are just because you're there serving them. So that's a great way to grow your ministry, your business, your mission, whatever it is that you're doing. And so Debbie and I decided to just try and serve Wendy and Brandon and just be there. And they're doing a 5-day challenge this week. And it's a challenge. It's a launch pad is what they're selling. And it's a form and some software that's quite expensive. But what it does is it helps you determine who your tribe is, what your offers are, and how you're going to put that out there in what format, whether it's going to be on a 5-day challenge or a masterclass or whatever. And it's a free 5-day challenge from them, which we're there to kind of support them. And but then again, they wouldn't turn us down if we decided to buy the program, because that's their whole point, is that they're selling the program. But anyway, it's a great program. And Debbie and I have learned a lot just listening in this week and just being there to support their audience. And as they say, we want to show up in the front row just to show that we're supporting them. So Debbie, thank you for that. Elise, let's go to you. Tell us about you.
Hi, everyone. Oh my goodness, you caught me in the middle. I am transitioning to my next meeting. Okay, so hello, my name is Elise Butler. It is wonderful to meet all of you. I am super happy to be here. I am a Jill of all trades, literally a Jill of all trades. If I haven't touched the industry, then I'd be surprised. I most recently have worked in a hotel. I am leaving the hotel industry thank goodness, because it just was not for me. And living my dream as a freestyle lifestyle, getting my dream job as a virtual assistant contractor through Belay, and then being able to still continue my own personal virtual assistant business. So while doing that, I just recently moved back into my investment property that is my duplex. So I just bought a duplex about 2 years ago. Absolutely loving it. It has been the most wonderful experience. I have really been going around and around, just trying to kind of understand my life. I am 26. I'm 26, and I also just got my master's degree. I just kind of like, hey, whatever you want to do, let's go do it, and just kind of pick up the sticks and start running. I am trying to determine who I am. I am in a pivotal point in my life where everything that I feel like I knew is kind of like flip it and, try and make sense of what you have, all while trying to figure out yourself in this really bubble of adulthood that no one really like warns you about. It's like, oh, adulting, where I literally can remember the conversation as a kid, like, oh, I can't wait till I'm grown. I'm like, I just want to go back to myself, watch your freaking mouth, why would you say that? Just that, and then wanting to go back to coaching volleyball. So that's how I got my master's as a graduate assistant with Ohio Dominican University. I enjoyed my 2 seasons there. I played college volleyball when I went for my undergraduate, and I want to get back to that. I coached for 5 years, and there's nothing like it for me. There's really nothing like it. The videos and the passion and the like burning sensation of joy that I get every time my kid just does something that they weren't able to do. By the end of last season, even though this child just made me want to run up a wall, flip myself upside down, and just drop on my head, she learned how to serve, and literally just tossing a ball, swinging, and she could do it behind the line for the first time ever. And this is not my child, but I remember the moment that I was able to do that and the happiness that she felt. And it was like reliving all that for me. And I just can't wait to get back to that. So I am super excited to be in a freestyle life now, being able to leave my 9 to 5, which was really 3 to 11. And y'all, this hotel is crazy. This hotel is crazy.
Elise, I was in the hotel industry for 25 years.
You could, I should have asked you. I should, hello, Kathy, tell me what's going on, because this was a new build. And I mean, literally nothing is done. We're out of all the food, and I'm supposed to be over food and beverage, but I don't even know how to order the food. Y'all, I gotta go. I've got to go. It was my first taste of managerial experience in a hotel, and I'm gonna head out. So I am trying to spend time with myself. I'm trying to actively journal. I'm trying to walk around the neighborhood. And as I walk around, I see all these beautiful homes. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm in the place that I said I wanted to be 4 years ago, excuse me. And as I walk around this neighborhood, what's calling me is I'm going to buy up this entire neighborhood. And this is what I want. And when there's something I want, just like Debbie was saying, I was going to bring the laptop up here. I have a stack of books. And the one that I need to read right now is You Are a Badass. And I need to understand that and then just walk in it. So I wanted to hop in here. I wanted to say hello to everyone. Please expect me to be back for the meetings, because I have the time and I'm going to be here, y'all. So it's wonderful to meet you, and I'd love to connect with everyone. Thank you.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if we had the insight at 26 that Elise has? Yeah, I look back at me at 26, and I wasn't anywhere near where Elise is. So yeah, I love it. Oh, Elise, just keep on keeping on. You're doing great. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now we haven't heard from Rachel. Rachel, are you able to oh, Laura, you were pregnant with your 4th child at 26. Oh, well, yeah. Well, maybe you had a pretty good idea of life.
I don't have kids, but I have, and don't mind the mess, I have this monster and my other dog Pebbles, and I could turn the camera around, but he has pooped in the house 4 times in my brand new carpet, in my
Oh
brand new
no.
carpet, and we hadn't been here for a week yet. So
Oh no. Oh no.
yeah, monster.
Rachel, are you still with us, Rachel? Can you come on? Rachel went out and came back in, and now we don't see her, but I'm going to give her a second here. She was driving for a while, and then she arrived, and then she clicked her camera and everything off. Are you there, Rachel?
Hi, Kathy. Can you hear me?
I can. Do I need to
Perfect.
let you in?
Yes,
Okay,
the
let me let you
video
in so
said.
you can show your camera
Okay.
so we can see your beautiful face.
All right.
There you are.
Hi, everyone. So, I
Tell us
have really
about yourself.
been okay. I've really been enjoying just listening to all of you. It's been really enlightening. So I'm really glad I'm here today. Normally I would be working, but I had a new schedule change with work. I'm actually working in manufacturing. So let me back up a little bit. My name's Rachel Konsevich. I'm living in Pennsylvania, and just kind of trying to find my way. It's one of those things where Kathy, you had mentioned the aha moment. And I think to answer your question, sorry, I'm going to kind of hop around a little bit. My mind's everywhere today. I have way too much caffeine already. But back to the aha moment. I kind of realized over the last probably week or so that the biggest thing I need to do is slow down, because I have so many things I want to do. And I think I just need to focus and really narrow down the bucket list kind of thing, because you really can only focus on so many things at one time. I was trying to buy a duplex and live in one side and then out the other. The housing market is so crazy right now. I have to give that a break and lay that down. And I'm
That's
also,
what Elise is doing, by the way.
yes, I heard.
Mhm,
Elise,
mhm.
I am so happy for you. That was awesome to hear, because that is my plan. Hopefully within the next 6 months. I'm still looking, but I had to kind of hang that head up for a little bit, because it can be discouraging in the market right now. So I'm glad to hear that you did it 2 years ago instead of just trying to do right now. But that's the plan. I'm also kind of switching careers right now. So I have a business degree, but I was in sales for a little bit. Wasn't my cup of tea. So now I ended up in manufacturing they were my customer. So now I'm in manufacturing. I run multi-million-dollar CNC lasers. We make parts for UMF. So like the medical cabinets, when you walk into the building, like your doctor's office, we make those, we make stuff for sheets. So I'm happy there, and I'm happy with my new schedule, but I'm trying to transition to user experience design, which is a little bit more people-based, more empathy. So I'm really excited about that. I'm currently going through a certification for that, and I am loving it. And now I have more time to do that. So I'm actually working 4/10s. So that's why I said I normally wouldn't have had this time this morning to be with you ladies, but I don't know, I guess it's just fate. So I was really nice to, like I said, to hear everyone this morning. And I know there are more ladies to speak yet, but hopefully we can all connect. And this has been really nice and enlightening. So hopefully I can, be, hopefully I can come back if this is fits my schedule. So it'll be awesome.
Well, we hope it does fit your schedule. We love that you're here. We are on the third Friday of every month at 10 a.m. So put it on your calendar. It will always be the same meetup code, the same meeting ID. Again, we've switched it to a webinar to try to keep some of those Zoom hackers out. And so to keep you from having to actually register every single time, you can make a note of the ID that you tapped in today and just put it on your calendar and just go to your Zoom app and enter it, and it'll put you right into the meetup instead of going through the whole registration again. But anyway, you can always click through where we have a meetup group, and we also have a Facebook group. And so you can always click through the registration anytime if you're out and about and don't have that meetup ID with you. And join us. So we're glad that you're here. Gosh, I love everybody. Now, Elise had to jump off because she had some other things going on this morning. And I just appreciate everyone coming. And so if you go around, we're going to go around one more time before we sign off. And what was your biggest takeaway from today? My biggest takeaway from today, again, is just being so inspired by everyone that is here and that you are pursuing your authentic life. And that's my biggest takeaway today. So let's just go around. Lynn, how about you? What is your biggest takeaway today? Oh, you're on mute, sweetie. Yep. There you go.
Thank you. Sorry. I think my biggest takeaway is listening to Elise and realizing that's where I think I was at that age. I bought my own house at 24. I had already had my pilot's license before 24.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just do everything, go everything, do everything. And then married, children, and been home for 30 years. So I'm trying to really get back, I think, to that energy and to that get into everything, curiosity, and learn everything. And I think I've got that, but I'm still trying to find that spark that I had then that she has now, because I think the world's our oyster. I think women can do anything these days.
Lynn, I agree. Wow. Yes, go for it.
Yeah, I do. I actually almost think we're more free than the men are. I think I raised 3 daughters, and it's one thing, for a woman maybe to be an interior decorator kind of thing, but have a son that wants to do that. I have a daughter who wanted to be a construction worker. Mm-hmm. No problem. For girls seem to be able to do anything these days. Mm-hmm. So I subscribed to that my whole life. Obviously, as a pilot when I was 21. So, so I just my takeaway is being inspired by Elise. Too bad she's not here. That I want to get back to that. She reminded me so much of myself at that age. So, and I think coming out of this marriage financially, that's not going to hold me back now either. So I don't have that barrier at this age either. So really the world is my oyster, and I just have to find which one. Where's my pearl?
I love it. I love it. Yeah, Lynn, I can't wait. We're going to please tap in every month where we get to see how Lynn evolves into who she wants to be, because she can be anything. You can reinvent yourself into anything you want.
I think we actually have it easier than the men in that way. I really do.
I get it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, great takeaway. Laura, how about you?
My biggest takeaway is it's not so much a teaching or something like that, but just a sense of community. Mm-hmm. I love connecting with like-minded women who, although we're very diverse in what we want and where we are in our experiences, we have so much to share. And I love connecting heart to heart and building on those connections. So thank you.
Yes, thank you for that, Laura. Carmela, how about you? What was your biggest takeaway today?
Well, I was inspired by everyone, and the fact that, we all have dreams and we don't give up on our dreams. And it's like, sometimes they change, but at least it's so wild because it makes me think of my daughter, because she's one of these ones, she's 30 and she's done so much more, because I was always afraid to take that step. So this is like awesome. And yeah, this was like really good. I enjoyed meeting everyone and connecting.
Thank you, Carmela. Sasha, how about you? What was your biggest takeaway?
I would have to agree with Laura and Carmela, like, definitely the connecting. But, for me, it's like, I think we're put in situations or positions where we need to be at right then. You know, like for me, like, you know, like I said, I hadn't been to one of these in like several months, but I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go, you know, this month, I'm gonna go this month. And there was a reason for that. So I think, you know, for me, it's just, you know, finding that group, yeah, like Laura said, like-minded women, you know, from diverse backgrounds where you can learn and grow, personally, professionally, like all of that. But definitely like being inspired, you know, by everyone's story, and you know, just knowing that I was here at the right time, the right place to get what I needed from here, and hopefully be able to offer the same to everyone.
Well, Sasha, we're glad you're here. Yes, thank you so much for joining us today. Debbie, how about you? What is your biggest takeaway?
There's no time like the present to do what you want to do.
That's a good one.
I can't go back how many years, but I, like Laura, I had my fourth child by the time I was 27 or 20. Yeah, one of those. And but it's like, now I look at it as like, okay, I'm 68 years old. What am I going to do with my life? And you can have so many different things going around in your head, but you got to pick one and you got to go for it. And we all can't be like each other or everyone else. We have to be our own self. And I'll tell you, it's become very prevalent for me with this 5-day challenge. I can't be like Wendy. I mean, I can't even be like Kathy. I've got to be myself. And I love you.
I get it.
You know, and so many times we get caught up with the fact that, oh man, I wish I was in Kathy's place, or I was in Sasha's place, or even Elise's place. We all have to pick, like you say, you have 8 lanes, and maybe some of us can just have 2 lanes,
Sure.
or maybe 3,
Or just one.
or just one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's what we do in that lane will set us apart from everybody else. So that's what I've learned today. This was really good. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you for being on. Rachel, how about you? What is your biggest takeaway?
I would have to agree with Laura and Sasha in that I'm just thankful that like I said, I could be here today and experience this. And I feel inspired and you know, like I said, just appreciative to be here. And I think the takeaway is to just, you know, keep working towards your goal, you know, and I also agree with the fact to not compare yourself to others, because when you put yourself on a timeline, it's stressful, and you're where you're supposed to be in that moment, you know. So it's like, oh, I should have done this by now. I should have done that by now. And I know I'm still young. I know that, but I'm only, you know, 28, 29, how old? 28. Are we keeping count? But no, I think my biggest thing is just, I need to settle down. I think that was my takeaway today. Just settle down and one thing at a time. One thing at a time.
Yep.
Rachel,
So
today
thank
was your day to be here. There was underlying divine messages that are floating there for you from us who are a little older than you, but you have a lot of us giving you inspiration, and this was a good day to be here. This was your day.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Now, Laura just shared a quote. It says, comparison is the thief of joy.
So true.
Yeah.
Those weren't my words, and I wish I could remember. I have it on an index card, but it's not right here. So I apologize. I'm not the author of that, but so I don't want to take credit, but it means a lot to me. I have to remember that.
That's a great quote. Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Laura. Well, again, I want to thank everybody for being here. You can find all of our replays at kathybenner.com. Go down, scroll down the homepage until you come to the Connections Over Coffee and register there. It's going to just ask for an email. You can include a password or not. That's optional. And you can get into the site and see all the replays and then all of the connections. And so those that put your connect information in the chat, I will include those actually on the platform next to the replay. Now, it might be later today before this replay goes live there in that platform, because I'm running a bed and breakfast in my home and I have 2 rooms to flip next. And then I'll come back and get this video uploaded into the platform. So, but thank you so much for being on. Put us on your calendar and we would love to see you every month. So with that, we will say goodbye until next time. Bye, everyone.